Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Wednesday, April 13th slate of NBA and MLB games. I'm super excited to hop into it. We obviously do have more play-in basketball here, and I'm super excited about that. Like I said yesterday, play-in games are genuinely one of my favorite times of the entire year. Obviously, March Madness is definitely, I'd say probably number one, but play-in is shortly behind it. I do love these playing games. I feel like a lot of these players do try, and they try to truly make a name for themselves, which is one of my favorite things ever. So I really do love the feeling of that. Love the one and done sort of thing. And love just the little tournament style of it all. It's really just a great system in my eyes. But also we do have a really great MLB slate. I do only have one play as of right now. I may add another one. I haven't really decided yet. But I do have one play for each of the play-in games, so make sure to stay tuned for that. First things first, I did just want to go ahead and say that as of right now, we are on the road to 7,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do, and thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance. As I always say, it truly does mean so much to me. Now, let's go ahead and do a quick recap as of yesterday. Kind of have good news, kind of have bad news. Our NBA picks, we had a little bit of a mini sweep. We went 2-0 on our NBA plays, but unfortunately, our MLB plays yesterday were terrible. And I really can't even lie to you. So let's do a quick recap. Like I said, we had Paul George over 40.5 PRAs here versus Minnesota. That game was absolutely wild, and Paul George ended up hitting his over in PRAs in the last minute and a half. So that part was absolutely insane, but he was able to get it done for us. And then we had Evan Mobley over 1.5 blocks. This is seriously one of my fastest bets that I've ever won. He ended up getting 2 blocks with 6 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first quarter, which is absolutely insane, but he ended up hitting it for us. So, a win's a win. That was probably genuinely my fastest ever bet win that I've ever had. So that one was awesome. But then we did also have the Phillies minus 1.5 versus the Mets. The Phillies, they had more actual hits. They just weren't able to really turn it into runs. Unfortunately, the Mets actually played pretty solid defense, and they were able to definitely get things done. Then we had Yu Darvish over 5.5 strikeouts. Dude gave up 10 runs in the first 2 innings. Definitely fell for the trap. That's for sure. So, but let's go ahead and hop into today's plays. Like I said, we've got a couple good ones that I do like here. So we're going to be diving into the first play-in game here. We're going to be taking LaMelo Ball over 8.5 assists here versus the Atlanta Hawks at minus 140 odds. Now, I know this one's juiced. If you did want to parlay it with something else, definitely go for it. But I do think that this one has a really great shot of hitting. Now, if you look at LaMelo Ball versus Atlanta in his last 4 games, he's had a really great He's just been really good at passing the ball versus the Atlanta Hawks. He's had 11, 4, 11, and 11 assists in his last 4 games. Dude's been absolutely unstoppable at passing the ball, and I think he is going to do that once again here versus the Atlanta Hawks. He has also hit this exact over in his last 4 games just in general, but he's also hit it in 7 of his last 8. So dude has been dishing the rock like no other, and I think that part of it is because there is no Gordon Hayward as of right now. Gordon Hayward obviously has had a lot of usage just when he is on the floor, and same with Terry Rozier. Both those guys do take up a lot of usage. Well, to be quite frank, there is no Gordon Hayward as of today, and Terry Rozier has not been playing up to par, to be completely honest. He's been a little bit rough, and so a lot of that usage is going to a guy like LaMelo Ball. And when it comes to the Atlanta Hawks, in their last 7 games, or just over the course of the season, they have given up the 7th most assists per game to opposing point guards. So they give up a lot of assists to these point guards. He's been really great against the Hawks, and he's been really great at passing the ball just in general. So I think we see a lot of value here. This is going to be one of my hammered bets for sure. I'll probably put 2 units on it. I really like this play. We're going to be taking LaMelo over 8.5 assists here versus Atlanta at minus 140 odds. Now, our second play of the day, we're going to be taking, and this is going to be in the second playing game, by the way, just clarify that. We're going to be taking Brandon Ingram, but we're going to be taking his under 24.5 points here versus the San Antonio Spurs at minus 120 odds. Now, In Brandon Ingram's last 2 games, he has only had 15 and 13 points in his last 2 games, so he hasn't really been truly great, and he has been dealing with an injury here lately. I can't remember exactly what it is, but he has been dealing with an injury, so he's kind of been on and off the floor here for a while. And he hasn't played since I believe it was like the 6th, I think. So could we see like a little bit of time before he truly turns up? Yes, of course. So I do think that he is going to come into this game, and it's going to be kind of a tough one for him. He also doesn't have a great matchup. In the last 7 games, the San Antonio Spurs actually allowed the 3rd fewest points per game to opposing small forwards. So they've been really, really solid. And if you look at it, Brandon Ingram versus San Antonio hasn't been great either. He has actually went under in 2 of his last 3 games here versus the San Antonio Spurs. So Brandon Ingram, I think, is going to have a tough matchup here. I think it's going to be more CJ. I think it's going to be more Jonas Valanciunas as opposed to Brandon Ingram coming off of an injury. I don't think that he is going to have nearly as much usage as he normally would. I feel like they're going to try to save him for the playoffs, truly. So next, I did just want to go ahead and give my quick leans of these games. These, like I said, these are leans. I'm not making them official plays. I'll probably be making some side bets on them, but it's truly nothing like I'm not making it official. But I'm going to be taking both of the favorites in these games. I like the Hawks minus the 4.5. I think that they are going to be able to get it done here versus Charlotte. Charlotte's just a little bit too young, and with no Gordon Hayward, I think that it's going to be very tough for them. And then I'm also taking the Pels minus 5.5. Kind of the same thing. I think that the Spurs are really building something special over there, but I just don't think it's really there yet. So I do like the Pels minus 5.5 as well if you wanted to take another bet on it. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into the MLB play. We're going to be taking the Guardians money line versus the Reds at plus 110 odds. Now, Tristan McKenzie, who is the pitcher here for the Guardians, he has not necessarily been great. He does have a 6 ERA on the year. He has not been good whatsoever. But on the flip side of things, for the Reds, Nick Lodolo, this is going to be his MLB debut. So could we see a little bit of a kind of struggling here at the beginning of his MLB career? Sure. There's going to be jitters for sure for the first game. So I think that we're going to take advantage of it while we can. Also, last game, the Guardians did end up winning 10-5. So they ended up doubling the score. They won by a pretty big margin. So I could see this happening once again. And the Guardians, to start off the year, they've been a lot better than a lot of teams have thought. They're actually 3-2 to start off the year, and they're on a 3-game win streak here currently. The Reds, to start off the year, haven't necessarily been the best. They are just 2-3 to start off the year. And versus the Reds, the Guardians are 3-0 in their last 3 games and 4-1 in their last 5. So they've had a good track record here versus the Reds. So I think we're going to be seeing some more of that. I truly do. So we're going to be riding with it. Guardians money line versus the Reds at plus 110 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we're on the road to 7,000 subscribers, and I can't really do that without your guys' help. So make sure that you guys are subbed. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. This is King Center signing out. Peace.